Hello, welcome to Missin the Kitchen with Chef Ed. Right now, we have to do our learning and our cooking away from the kitchen, but we're missing it, so I'm going to be doing some videos from my kitchen at home and show you some different things that you could be doing, and hopefully you'll learn some things. The first thing we're going to be doing is sausage making, and I'm going to be starting that right now. We're going to start with first the sausage, which is pork butt and some ribs, just the rib meat and pork butt. And you need to have 25-50% fat in order for the sausage to coagulate. So that's been already ground up, and I did that with the attachment for the KitchenAid mixer, which will show when we're going to put them into the casings. So this is the meat that's been already ground, and I've added salt, pepper, garlic, paprika, and the garlic is garlic powder. So it's pretty basic. And then here I have the sausage casing, which is actually intestine. You can buy this in the store, they pack it in salt. So you really need to make sure that you wash the salt off, and then you have to soak it in water, and then you have to clean them. And what happens with these is that you have to find the end part, and it actually will open up. And then we're gonna take that open part and we're gonna put it right on our attachment, which will fill this with the sausage. It's really important to keep everything really, really cold. So what we're gonna do is put this in the fridge and just take out what we need. And it's also good to keep these in water. If they come out of the water, they will dry out and you won't be able to use them. So everything has to be kept really cold. And what we're gonna be using is a attachment that goes on to the KitchenAid, and that's what we're going to be using to fill the casings. And what's really good is if you would refrigerate this as well, so it's nice and cold when you use it, so it'll keep everything else cold. You have to be really careful because you don't want to get any bacteria into your sausage. I am not using gloves because here at home I don't have the proper ones. So what I'm going to do, I washed my hands, they're very clean, and in order for me to really be able to take out the casing and put it on, I really need to use my fingers. So as long as my hands are clean and I am washing them in between what I do, I should be fine. Now I have the casing, and what I need to do is I needed to find the end. So I did that, and you can see I can fit my fingers in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just kind of put this on the end and kind of smooth it so that it fits on there. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take this and I'm gonna cut it so that I don't have to go all the way down to the end, because that's gonna be a lot of work, and it's a lot of pushing the meat all the way down. So I'm probably going to just cut this to maybe get 3 links. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it, and I'll probably do that right around here. And I'm gonna use some clean scissors, cut it, and I'm just gonna tie it off. And the one thing you wanna do when you're filling the sausage casings is you don't want to fill it too tightly, because when you cook it, it can burst, because when the meat is in the oven or in the simmering water or in a frying pan, the meat expands as it gets heated and it can bust through the casing. So you also don't want to have any air pockets. So when we do this, we're going to prick it with a fork just so that there's that extra air can have a place to go out and you won't have any blowouts because of that as well. So now what I've done is I've taken the whole casing and I'm pushing it onto the tube so that we can get all the way to the end and fill it as we go. So what's going to happen is I'm going to put the pork into the top of this, and then I have a plunger that I'm going to push down, and then it's going to make the sausages. Okay, and we'll do that in just. So now I've started stuffing the casing, and you can see that it's coming down into here. And then when you have the amount that you want for each length, you could take the length right here and you can go ahead and twist that. And then you can continue to fill. Okay, so now I started another one and I am pushing it into here. And then instead of doing my links one at a time, I can do them at the end when I'm done with this whole casing. And then once I have them twisted, I can prick them with a fork, and then I can cook them. I can either bake them in the oven, I could saute them, or I could simmer them. And for ground pork, you want to have it at least 155 degrees. You have to have the pork fully cooked. There can't be any paint. So I'm going to go ahead, and it's going to be a little noisy. And you have to make sure you use a plunger. Don't put your fingers down in there. What we're going to do right now is I'm going to tie off the end here, that air bubble out of there. And what you have to make sure too is when you're putting the casing on the machine to fill it, the filler attachment, you want to make sure there's no holes in your casing. So you can inspect those when you're putting the water through it in the beginning. Take it out of the salt, and then you put it in water, rinse it, and then you have to have the water go through the tube to make sure there's no leaks. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to do whatever kind of link as far as what length I want, and then I'm just going to twist. And again, make sure that this is cooked all the way, at least 155 degrees. Get it all the way, it has to be all the way through. Put a thermometer in the middle of your sausage to make sure that it's done. You can make all different kinds of sausage with different spices. You can also use emulsifiers. This is considered a fresh sausage. No nitrites or nitrates in it. Just very simple garlic, salt, pepper, paprika, a little bit of sugar. So you can really use this for anything. There's a little bit of cayenne pepper, but not much. It's not too much heat. First thing we did is we got out our sausage casings. This is sausage casings that I use, and they are in salt. And then this is what they look like when they come, and then you're going to take those out and rinse them really well. We're going to keep these in cold water. So when they come out, they look like this. And what you're going to do is you're going to find the opening of it, and then you're going to run water through that. And then you're going to find the end and just have the water go all the way through that. So these have all been untangled and sitting in the water. Okay, then you're going to take your pork. So this was pork butt and pork rib with the fat. All the fat goes in. I chopped it up, and I took it and I did a first grind on a large grind size on my attachment for my KitchenAid. And then once it came out, I took some water and mixed that with my seasonings, and then I mixed it together with the meat. Mixing it with the water first really makes it blend better than just putting the dry seasonings in the pork. And then what I did is I put the pork through one more time on the large grind, this time putting my casings on to the attachment and filling those up. Everything needs to be kept cold because you're dealing with pork, and you want to make sure that it doesn't go into the danger zone. Also, it's much easier to deal with when putting it through the grinder if it's cold. You also want to chill your attachments and anything that touches the sausage. And that's it. So thanks so much for watching this installment of Chef and Miss in the Kitchen. Next time, what we'll be doing is making pasta. So please join us then. And we'll probably be cooking some of the sausage as well. All right, take care. Until next time, happy holidays.